Typical, of course he would be there.
No, but she chose the Muhammad one, so I just chose one.
I know, it's typical.
Hold on. No.
One more topic. Last one.
I have a question.
JC is the last one, yeah?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. What?
Are you saying Paul was a false prophet?
Can we discuss this later
We'll discuss
after?
it
Yeah, we'll do after the debate, of course.
According to his own words, yes.
Then we can have a chat.
But can you guys give me like a minute so I can show? My back is killing me, man.
This is what's going on.
Telling you, because I had.
Chair with you.
No, but I'm not supposed to be standing, right?
Do you want water, brother?
No, I need to go and take pills, but I can't take any more. Just give me 1 second. Is Jesus God?
It's the last one,
Yeah.
I know. Getting tired.
Boy, what time did you come?
JC? No, holding it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Right.
You charge us rich, we'll give him some money, buy one of these stuff.
Yeah, that's cheapskate, man. Come on. I'll buy it for him. Right,
Stay true to your words. Make sure you mind.
in this generation, before this generation passes.
Okay, you ready? It's your topic, so.
Give me 1 sec. Okay, I'm ready. So the final topic we agreed to is Jesus God? Now, of course, she's going to come with a hypostatic union, man and God, same nature. So I will give her a simple answer. You, lady, are a polytheist. And it's very simple. I suggest that you go to the New Testament and you look at the word ousia. It has 3 meanings: nature, essence, and being. It's very simple. Do you worship one God, monotheism? Then you worship one being. We're not using the word person here. I'm using the biblical language, ousia. Person is not in the Bible. The question is simple. Does she worship one being with one ousia, or does she worship 3 beings or 3 persons, which makes her a polytheist? Again, the word ousia means nature, essence, being. The question is simple. How many natures did Jesus have? If Jesus has more than one nature, then he is 2 beings according to the biblical language. Now, I know you don't know Greek, you can Google it later, but the question is really simple. If you are a monotheist, how can you worship 2 beings? Thirdly, I'll ask a final question. Is the personhood of Christ divine? I'm not asking about the natures within the personhood. I'm talking about the abstraction of the person itself as is described by your church fathers. Because if the person is divine, then it also means you worship the human nature. Right. So the question is simple. Do you know what the word ousia means? If it means being, then you worship 2 beings. If you worship 2 beings, you're a polytheist. There's no question about that. Lastly, I ask again, is Christ a divine person? If he is a divine person, then you worship a human nature. You, lady, are a pagan.
Keep going.
No, I'm going.
I'm waiting for you. Come through when you're done.
Did you want the reference for that?
You can do a second.
So, at Speaker's Corner we have Islamic Dawah team. Came all the way from somewhere out of UK without even reading and understanding what Christians believe. Shame on you, and your mom is shame on you too. Here is what we believe about Lord Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus Christ is the second person of Trinity. Christians believe one God in one being in 3 persons. Clearly, Islamic Dawah team identifies me as a polytheist. Yet, Quran doesn't identify me as a polytheist. Again, are you trying to be God? Last time I checked, you were just a human being. And your God, Allah, doesn't love the ignorance. Yet, you fit all the category. You deny the teachings of Allah. You deny the teachings of the Muhammad. You deny the teachings of the Quran regarding what it means about Jesus. While I can understand that because Quran identifies me as a monotheist, yet Muslims identify me as a polytheist because Allah doesn't even know what I believe. Shame on all talk about Jesus. Listen very carefully. Allah creates with his breath. Allah creates with his breath, and it takes long hours for him to create. Jesus creates, give lives faster and quicker than Allah. Jesus takes the spots of Allah.
You ready?
Yeah, you may begin. Brothers, I asked her a simple question. I gave her biblical language. What does the word usia means? It means being. I asked her how many usia does Christ have? She says 2. If you have 2 beings, then you are a polytheist. You worship someone that is 2 beings, you are a polytheist. 2 in our language means more than 1. Just so you're clear. I know you don't speak English properly, but the point is very simple. She did not answer my question. I asked her very simply, what does the word usia mean? She did not answer. I asked her about person and being, she did not answer. So I'll give you an easier answer then. The New Testament says, what's the argument? I lost my argument, sorry about that. The New Testament says that Christ was overpowered by death. Now the New Testament also says that God is the only one who has power over death. If God can lose an attribute, power over death, and death can rival him, then he's no longer God. If you lose attributes, if you're perfect, -1, you're not perfect any longer. It said for death had powered over him. If your God can lose the power over death, he's no longer God. Then we have a rival to God. That's a problem for you to solve. Again, go back to usia, go back to personhood. I don't care that you say he's the second person of the Trinity. I did not ask you that question. Shame on you. Please answer the question I have put towards you.
30 seconds.
Okay. Again, I'll make it even simpler for her. The New Testament says that Christ had to go into hell to get the keys from Satan. Why does God need to get something from Satan to fulfill his blessing towards the people? Only God can enter people into heaven, but in her religion, Satan holds the keys. Subhanallah, go and worship Satan. It'll be better for you. I'm done.
1 minute 54 seconds. Yet, lots of buffering.
Was that my second time or
but
third time?
no answer to my question. There is something intentional going on there, folks. Watch out. Watch out. No answer to my question. Here is my problem. Islam fails to understand what I believe. Therefore, we see the fruit of Islam here. Put your hand up if you heard I said Jesus has 2 nature. Put your hand up. No, I did not. That is taqiyya. I did not say that. Do not lie. Shame on Islam. Shame on Islam. Islamic Dawah team. Without any shame, they think they can lie. Jesus is God man. Jesus is God man. Listen carefully. Listen carefully.
Listen.
God man. He took up on himself human nature. Why did he do that? Because of your sins, because of my sins, out of love. God showed us grace. He took up human nature on himself. Can you please tell me why Jesus of the Quran creates faster than Allah and creates the way Allah creates, sir? Can you please answer my questions? Can you please answer? Have Jesus even capable to create quicker and faster than Allah? Please
Don't do that, please.
Respond.
Are we going for dinner afterwards?
And
Where are we
please
going?
produce me verse
nice
from
tea.
the Quran. By the way, your reference that Jesus went to hell is not in the Bible. Please give me the reference.
Allahu Akbar.
Give the reference.
All of you will know that Christians they believe that Christ has 2 natures. You saw me celebrating. She said herself, I never said Christ had 2 natures. Welcome, you're a heretic. She's a monophysite. The church would have burned you. I celebrated. Go back to the timestamp. I just said it. See, subhanallah. Subhanallah. I caught saying a lie. I know she's interrupted me. This is the proof that she's ashamed about what she has said. Now, let me repeat to you what this beautiful book says. In Romans chapter 6, verse 9, it says, we know that Christ, being raised from the dead, will never die again. Death no longer has dominion over him. Can death, which is an attribute of ability of God, have power over God? If that is the case, then you, ma'am, are a polytheist. If God can lose and gain attributes, then you worship more than one God. Again, I bring you back to the initial point. Usia means a being. If you worship the Usia of God, then you worship the Usia of Christ. You worship two Usias, that means you are a polytheist. Usia means being, Christ is two beings, you are a polytheist. It's that simple. Refute at one point and the debate is over, you would have won. Alright, it's very simple. Now I challenge you, there's a book by R.C. Sproul, What is the Trinity? He introduces this problem, a Christian Calvinist. He says that this word creates a problem between the Lutherans and the Calvinists because it makes them polytheists. I don't say that, her own Christian authors do. I am just quoting them. If she's upset with me for quoting her own brothers and sisters in Christ, then the shame should be on her, not on me. No, I don't need a 15 again. Alright, I'll give it again. Oh, it is? Okay. 10 seconds is okay, I'll give it. I'll do 10 seconds.
Okay. You ready?
You quoted that verse.
Hold 1 minute over 40 seconds, yet respond but no answer to my question. Shame on you, you traveled all the way to have a discussion and you haven't done your homework. Here's my problem. Because Quran fails to understand what I believe, therefore I have to deal with Islamic Dawah team because they don't understand what I believe. Shame on Allah, he doesn't understand what I believe. As a Christian, I believe God in one being. Jesus is the person in Godhead, not the being, the person. Second person of the Trinity, second person of the Godhead, took up human nature, came and dwelt among us. Why? Out of his grace, sin of people like me and like Ijaz. Bible teaches me I don't have any other option beside that to believe Jesus is identified as God. Bible tells me, Jesus himself states, I must honor Jesus exactly the way I honor God. I honor God by praying him, worshipping him. Jesus tells me, do that to me. Jesus has the attributes of God. Jesus is the only one who has
just
the
remind me
attributes
that she
of
said
God.
that the God said, but it says that she should worship the Father, she worships the Son. Just remind me of that point, okay?
Only God can do. It is only Jesus who has the names of God. And Jesus comes from the heaven who is seated in the throne. That is the Jesus. Scripture tells me he is God. Worship him.
Thank you for your time, Daniel. Thank you for your time, Hatun. Brothers, the debate is over, but you saw me shake her hand. You must be asking why. It was to demonstrate to you that she does not read this book, the Bible. Let me read for you what Paul says about dirty unbelievers like me. He says, do not be mismatched with unbelievers, for what partnership is there between righteousness and lawlessness? Or what fellowship is there between light and darkness? What agreement does Christ have with Belial? Or what does a believer share with an unbeliever? But it gets worse, brothers and sisters. If I could just turn the page really quickly. It says, therefore come out from among them, be separate from them, says the Lord, and touch nothing unclean. She shook my hand. She shook my hand when Paul and her God says, don't touch the dirty people, the unbelievers. I'm dirty, but she touched me, subhanAllah. Now, let me finish though. The debate is over. It's a soliloquy. It's a soliloquy. It's a soliloquy. Now let me go on further. Hold on.
While he gives the lecture, let me respond to his lecture.
I can.
I think it just thinks this is university. No, this is speaker's corner. Sir.
I know you didn't go to
don't
university.
Do the lecture. Here's the thing.
Anyway, so as I was saying, I would suggest that you go to the New Testament. This lady said, this lady said,
Fight for me. Here's the thing. Sir, how are you? Can you shake my hand?
Why are you not shaking your
Can you shake my hand?
because he accepts the Bible's rule and do not touch the dirty people.
He's following the Quran.
He doesn't want to shake my hand. What is the
following the
reason for
Quran, he's
that?
not.
Because when they
Watch
shake
out.
my hand,
Watch out the
they
hypocrisy.
become dirty. They become dirty.
Why does she reject the Bible? Why does she reject the reading of the Bible? Why did you reject this book? Why did you reject this book? Why did you reject the teaching? Why did you reject the teaching? I don't touch dirty unbelievers. The book says not to. The book says not to. The book says not to. To show her she rejects the Bible. She rejects the Bible. You reject the Bible. Why do you reject the Bible?
I'm saving her.
Hold on.
You're an apostate.
I'm saving you from all this. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're going.
All right. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Shake hands. Hug. What next? What's your mind?
Can't stand.
Save him.
Let's
go.
Save him from the
That he gave his only son.